Hello, my friends. I want to know, do you guys know anybody, maybe somebody really intimate, that has always wanted to change, but they can't get themselves to make the change? Or let's say they get themselves to go make the change, but the change lasts for a day, 7 days, but then they're back in the same habit. Or maybe they're so committed to the change that they make the willpower last for an entire year, but next thing you know, they're back in the exact same situation. They're back into indulging in the exact same bad behavior. Do you guys know anybody like that? Drop a 1 down below. Of course, sorry, I had a phone call. Of course it's not you, but somebody else you know. Drop a 1 down below if you know anybody that really wants to change, but they haven't been able to get themselves to go do the thing. You want to get yourself to do the thing, but you can't get yourself to go do the thing. Drop a 1 down below. I'm also curious, why do you think they can't get themselves to change? I'm just curious. Drop it down below. Just your gut reaction, my friends. Why do you think that they can't get themselves to change? What's the problem? What's the holdup? Because what I'm about to tell you is I'm going to tell you that there's some people that think they need to take 5 years before they can really make a change. They need to take 12 years before they can actually make a change. They need to take a decade. They need to take 2 decades, a lifetime before they can actually make a change. And I'm here to tell you, those people, those are lies. I can teach you. I will be teaching you through this series how to change anything you want in just a moment. One conversation, just a moment. How many of you guys like to make a change that we're told by society needs to take a decade to happen, but make a change just one moment? If you guys would like that, drop a hashtag me likey if you like that. And I want to introduce yourself to myself if you don't know myself. My name is Sherry Hollenbach. And I'm on this journey with my friends here. My friends, look down here. These are my friends right here. If you guys are my friend, drop a hashtag friends, because these are my friends I want to introduce you to. And what we're doing is we're learning together. We're learning together in this Earth School experience. We're working in this book, or we're officially in chapter 5. And we're learning how to level up our life in all different areas, not just one. And I'm just curious. I just want to take a moment here, and I want to ask you guys, my friends, what area of your life are you really interested in leveling up? Is it your energy levels? Drop down the word energy. Is it your love life? Drop down the word love down below. Is it your money? Drop down the money signs if it's money. I know you want to level up all the areas, but what is your most important area you really want to level up? Maybe it's your happiness. Maybe it's your peace. Drop down the word happiness. Maybe you just want to detox your core 5 people you spend the most time with, which equals out to be who you are. Maybe you want to detox those and find some new juicy friends in here. I don't know, but why? What area of your life do you really want to level up? Drop it down below. I just want to know and take a quick poll. And here's what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to tell you the reason why most people can't change. Most people don't change. Is because what they try to go ahead and they do is they try to willpower through it. They try to build up all this strength and all this endurance and get all these accountability partners and take all these notes and all these reasons why they need to go change. But they're just trying to do it through willpower. And willpower alone, make the sound of how effective is willpower. Come on, make it back to me, Chris. Make it back to me, Greg. Make it back to me, Kay, Katie, Christy, Kate. What's this? What's sound like? Does willpower really work alone? Can you drop down hashtag nope? Nope, N-O-P-E, hashtag nope. Willpower does not work alone, because what you're doing with willpower is you're trying to correct the symptom and not the cause. The cause of why you can't get yourself to do the thing, why you can't get yourself to stop doing anything. You're not addressing the cause by just using willpower. And see, there's 2 lies society has told you. By the way, if you guys are following me right now, drop a 1 down below if you're following me, a 2 down below if you're just super confused. I will all help you out down below. But number one lie society has told you is that it takes you a long time to go change. That's a lie. And the reason is because if we change quickly, our culture we grew up in that will judge us. And we associate judgment as pain. They'll judge us because they'll say, you know what? If you change in just a second, you really didn't have a problem. If you change in just a moment, you said, no, not another day, not another second, I'm changing now. If you change just a moment, society will judge you and say, you know what? You didn't really have an issue. It was all in your head. Because if you could change that fast, why didn't you change last week? Why didn't you change 2 weeks ago? Why didn't you change a month? Why didn't you quit complaining 6 months ago if you could change that fast? Not that any of you guys have people like that in your inner circle, but that is true. We associate our outside world, our culture. If we change instantly, they will judge us. And judge equals pain, which is why we can't change instantly. The other thing is not only will culture judge you, but yourself will judge yourself. because then you really start, because you're conditioning, we think change needs to happen a long time. That's why people go to psychologists for like a decade, 2 decades. There's some people I know has been going to psychologists for 3 decades in a row. And I'm not knocking psychologists by any means. I'm just saying it doesn't need to take 3 decades to make a change. You can make a change in an instant, period. But what happens is, because you're cultural conditioning, you yourself will judge yourself, because you'll start questioning, did I really have a problem? Like, if it changed that fast, was it really in my head? Like, why didn't I change 2 weeks ago if I could change that fast? And so you associate yourself judging yourself with pain, and culture will judge you, so that equals pain. So the reason why you can't change is because you associate with pain. Why you can't change in just seconds, because you associate the culture judging you and yourself judging you as equals as pain, because you really don't have an issue. You guys following this again? 1, if you guys are following. 2, if you're like super confused. Greg, you got it. Kate, you got it. Rhonda, Jimmy, Kay, you guys got it? 1 following, 2 confused. Second lie society told you. Do you want to know? I'm just curious on here. I'm just curious on here. Oh my gosh, this is such a really good point. I need to detour for just a second, because I just read this really good thing I read in the book. Okay, what? Okay, let me just side note for just a minute. Do I got permission? Drop it down to 5 below if I got permission. Okay, Rhonda's a 1.5. Thanks, Rhonda, for being so transparent. So drop down, where are you confused at? Just drop it down below, and I'd love to answer it at the very end, or somebody else in here can answer it on here. But I want to make sure, Rhonda, we close the gap from 1.5 to like a 1. Done. And by the way, all of you guys on here commenting back and forth, you guys all add value, because every single one of you guys have massive success in different areas of your life. And we're all here not just to sit here and listen to Sherry talk. We're all here to help collaborate together, because there's a lot of you guys on here that have had more success in different areas of your life than I will ever accomplish in a lifetime. And I honor that. That's why I chose to do this learning experience together and not just on my own. It's together. #hug. Bring it in for another hug, my friends. Okay, so you know what's really funny is even our culture conditioning on death. Like, whenever somebody dies, especially someone like really close to us, like we really, really love, we have to grieve for X amount of time. And X amount of time depends on what your culture conditioning is. Meaning, if you do not grieve, then you get judged by other people. Let's say you know somebody dies, you love them, but you're happy the next day. No, you can't do that, because the culture out there will say, you know what? They'll judge you. They'll say, you know what? You didn't really love that person very much. Like, they did all this stuff for you, and now you're happy that right after they died. Like, you didn't love them. You didn't care about them. You're a selfish person. So number 1, culture will judge you if you're happy the next day after somebody dies, especially if they're close to you. But also, you will end up judging yourself, because you start questioning, due to your own conditioning of how long X amount you're supposed to grieve for. You'll start questioning, did I really care about them? Like, is there something broken inside me? Why am I like happy the second day? Like, I need to grieve for X amount of time. So then you start judging yourself. So now you get pain from judging yourself, and you get pain from the culture's expectation of how long you should grieve. And so what happens is, even though grieving necessarily doesn't feel the juiciest, and it feels much happier to just be happy and peaceful and like loving life, you will attach more pain to feeling happy and going against your cultural conditioning from other people and cultural conditioning in your head. You will associate more pain with being happy and less pain to grieving. Hence is why everybody on here, if this was part of your cultural conditioning, you grieve whenever somebody dies. However, 1, if you're following, 2, if you're lost, I want to explain this. However, in other cultures, do you realize in other cultures it's their conditioning that whenever somebody dies, it's a celebration? Because their meaning to whenever somebody dies is like God just chose them. It's like the lottery ticket. That person that just died just got the lottery ticket into heaven. Like, they just graduated. It's the luckiest day of their lives. And so their culture is they all celebrate. Somebody dies, bam, it's a party time. That's their culture. And so if you decide to grieve, you associate massive pain to grieving because they're cultural conditioning. Massive pain to grieving because the culture will look at you and say, you're sad. You're jealous of them. You're selfish. They just got picked by God to go up to the graduation stage, and you're wishing that they didn't. You're jealous of them. Like, you selfish human being. So you'll be judged they will be judged in that culture, by their other people, but they will also start to judge themselves because they're like, oh my gosh, like they died, I'm suffering right now. That means I'm a selfish person. That means like I didn't want them to graduate. I didn't want them to win. Like I'm a terrible person. So it's so funny is in their culture is if you grieve, that equals pain because they're conditioning of their outside people and then their inside mind based on their conditioning. So what they do instead is they associate pleasure to the celebration of death. Is that like shocking anybody? Is that just shocking? I'm just curious if that's shocking. So my point is the second somebody dies, your reaction is based on your cultural conditioning. And that's why we feel like we can't change right away, because our cultural conditioning says we can't. Because if we don't change, that means we don't have a real problem. Guys, follow me again. I'm just going to do the 1-2 system again. If you're following, drop it down to 1. If you're not following, drop down to 2. And while you guys are dropping down your 1 following, 2 not totally confused, Sherry Hall in the back, is I want to go ahead and throw this out there too, is we're doing this now for another, I think it's 3 more days before we're going to be drawing out of a raffle. I don't have personally time to go do one-on-one coaching, but what I'm doing is anyone that shares this and drops on the word #shared, because I feel like this message between you and I needs to get out to the entire world. Like we need to end the suffering now. And so anyone that shares it for these next 3 days, I'm going to be drawing them out of a hat, and then they're going to have a one-on-one coaching session with me. And if you think we get deep now, you just wait till we're one-on-one here. All right, let's bring it home over here. 1 following, 2 super confused. You guys are so much fun. So the point of this whole entire thing is how can you get yourself to change in an instant? Well, there's lots of different techniques, but the technique taught in chapter 5 is going to be called NLP. How many of you guys are familiar with NLP? If you guys are familiar with NLP, stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Drop a #NLP. What that basically is a way to where you can get yourself to change in a second. I've done it to my whole entire organization multiple times. I've done it to myself. I can't tell you how many times I've done it to a ton of one-on-one clients, tons of times. Who says you can't change in a second? Not me, because you can. And it's through this concept called neuro-linguistic programming. And Tony tells a brilliant story about NLP. This one time he was at this big conference teaching, and this guy comes up to him and he says, hey, your system is broken. And Tony's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't remember me? You remember me? 8 years ago, you programmed me to never smoke again. And he says, and I'm smoking 2 packs a day. So your system is broken. You did not program me. Your programming is wrong. And that's when Tony's like, whoa, hold up. This NLP, we need to like modify the P because it's not programming. Because what happens is people think, many people I've worked with over the years, they think, okay, I do this session with this like intense session one time, and I'm set for life. And it doesn't work that way. There's a concept called conditioning. If I had the ability to literally open you up, I promise, if I had the ability to open you up and program insane love, insane happiness, insane money, like insane energy and body, if I could just program that into you and shut you up, boom, and send you to go explore your life, I would do that in a second. I would donate my whole entire life to programming every single person on here, the rest of my entire life, just programming happiness, love, success. How many people would love to have it be that easy? Smash the heart button if you'd love to be able to get programmed for insane love, happiness, energy. If you'd love to get programmed that way, drop a heart. Because you can. And I'm going to show you how. But one concept you need to learn first is that I can do my part. Tony can do his part. The book can do their part. But you got to do your part too. It's a two-way street. And there's a concept called conditioning. And what conditioning means is once you actually learn a technique, and we've taught many different techniques just the last week, but once you learn a technique, you've got to condition it into your nervous system by doing it over and over and over. It's just like going to the gym. You go to the gym one time to go get this like amazing muscle mass. You go to the gym one time and you say, okay, I'm set for life. How's that going to work for you guys? Like really, just tell me, is there any workout buffs on here? You guys workout buffs? I'm just curious. Drop down the muscle emoji if you guys are workout buffs. Or you want to be workout buffs. But how would it work if you went to the gym one time, you never went back again and said, hey, check the box, I'm done. This is where you would get probably a sad, you guys can drop some sad emojis because you feel sad if that was your expectation. The same thing with programming your DNA, programming your nervous system, programming your entire mind. So you can program yourself to have success, to have love, to have passion, to have money, like have success. Like you can program yourself to lean into fears and get addicted to leaning into fears, but it takes something called conditioning. So a great example of this is this piano, and this is talked about in the book. Whenever you go get a brand new piano, the piano tuner, if there's any piano tune. Are you guys following me? One, if you're following, I want to just like keep checking in with you guys to see if I need to start limiting back the data I give you, or if you guys want me to keep covering like heavier, intense data. One, if you're following. Two, if you're confused. Do you guys want me to rev up the depth of these, or just like take it back just a little bit? I just want to know where you guys are at. One, following. Two, not following. So a piano tuner comes into the house, and what he does is he tunes the piano. And he says, okay, I'm going to be back in 2 weeks to tune it again. And we're like, wait a minute, you just finished coming late, why do you have to tune it again? Well, what happens is the second I tune it, they've been pulled this way for so long that if I tune it back over this way, even after I get done tuning it, it's gonna come back to this way a little bit. So after 2 weeks, it's gonna be way over here. So I have to come back and I have to retune it to bring it back over here because it's been patterned to go into this direction for so long. Just like all of our behaviors, all of our thoughts, all of our blueprints, all of our likes, dislikes, our preferences, our convictions we've been learning about, we've been programmed this direction. So if we reset it, boom, and condition it here, the next day it goes back, third day, fourth day, seventh day, bam. That's why you can't change something permanently just through willpower alone. So what happens is piano tuner comes back after 2 weeks, boom, pulls it here, and it starts coming back. So he comes back in 2 weeks, boom, pulls it here, and starts coming back, comes back another 4 weeks, boom, pulls it here. And each time he comes back, he has to set it just a little bit less and a little bit less and condition a little bit less. Then he goes 4 weeks, and then he goes 8 weeks, and then he goes 6 months. And then he comes back every single year for how long? How long, my friends? How long does the piano tuner come back? Just like for the second year, and then he's done. Third year, then he's done. Fourth year. 5 years, and he's not coming back anymore. How long should the piano tuner come back and condition? I'm just curious. For as long as they want the piano to play in the correct way, as long as they want the piano to play in the way that serves them, as long as they want the piano to play in the way that they want it to be played, that guy's gonna constantly be coming back every single year, at least conditioning once. So everything I've ever done in my life, I've conditioned super hard in the very beginning, like bam, like every single day, multiple times they have to condition it. And then as I condition it into my DNA, then what happens is then I don't have to condition it maybe like once a week. And I go back and revisit, like we did yesterday, I go back and revisit my opinion, my idea, and my reference points to go back and visit like once a week. And then every 2 weeks, and then once every 3 months, and then once every 6 months. But definitely every single year, if I really want to keep my game on this conditioning, my game on point, I go back and condition myself at minimum once a year. So that's when conditioning is going to be best. We're going to start getting super heavy material. Chapter 5 is heavy, my friends. So I just need to explain the thing of conditioning. I'm going to teach you it one time, but it's up to your part and where you want to take it from there, i.e. conditioning. So what your homework is going to be tonight, we're going to keep this super light tonight. Your homework is I just want you to write down what does conditioning mean to you and bring forward any past references you've had in your life that represents why conditioning is important. What areas of your life have you used conditioning to help you, whether it's consciously or unconsciously? But I want you to take everything out of your head, bam, put it back on paper, because this is the point I really want to drive home is conditioning before we start getting super heavy work. Because let me tell you this, we've got to condition ourselves for success. We've got to condition ourselves for love. We got to condition ourselves for breakthroughing. Dude, we got to condition ourselves to bust through fears. I must. But through our conditioning, we can develop patterns that automatically lead us to what we want. What we're going to be doing tomorrow, what we're going to be learning how to do tomorrow is I'm going to show you a step-by-step process called neuro-associative conditioning. My favorite, it's so juicy. And what that's going to do is that's going to condition your nervous system to associate pleasure to the thing that serves you and intense pain to the thing that doesn't serve you. I'm going to teach you how to do it in a step-by-step methodical way to where you will literally set your nervous system up to be able to head towards that love you want, head towards that success, head towards that confidence, head towards that body, head towards wherever you want without having to use constant willpower, without having to constantly go a course correction. I'm going to teach you how to do this one time. It's going to be tomorrow. So if you guys are excited about tomorrow, if you guys want to be a part of tomorrow, drop a hashtag, I'm in. If you guys follow this whole entire process, drop a 1. If you're confused, drop a 2, and we'll answer all of your questions. Let me scroll through if you guys have any questions here. Okay, any questions? Oh my gosh, you guys are so brilliant. All right, there we go, my friends. All right, so if you guys got value out of this, hashtag value, and we're going to be going live tomorrow. This is going to be the deepest, most intense session we've done so far. So tonight, the only thing I want you to really think about is, number 1, do your homework. Like, what is conditioning? Bring your reference points, how you use conditioning in your past. And number 2, think about what is one area of your life you really want to have success in, and what is your definition of success. And in the meantime, Kate, in the meantime, Bill, in the meantime, Greg, in the meantime, Chrissy, in the meantime, Rhonda, in the meantime, Kate, in the meantime, Abby, in the meantime, Bobby, okay, all my friends, Ryan, everybody, in the meantime, can you guys all do me one favor? Just one. I'm not going to ask it until I get permission. Can you do me one favor? The favor is, can you have the best and most juiciest night of your life? See you guys later. Bye, everybody.